The ride itself is on the water. Lots of pieces will start to arrive in the park in the next little while. Some pieces are still, on the journey. There's one of the pieces, particularly the pendulum, is huge and it's in one whole piece on its own. So getting that on the right ship at the right time has proven to be a challenge. It just doesn't fit into a container or anything like that, so it actually sits on top. So there's some challenges logistically with it, but they're all, unsurprising and things that we expect to have happen along the way. Causes a lot of stress and angst, I can assure you. But no, all looking good. And I think when it's done, it's going to be a real hit. I don't think people quite appreciate, how big a deal this will be. Yeah, I mean the hub, we've got a really great thematic piece on that, so you'll see that from the highway, which will be good. The
Ooh.
orientation kind of sets a little bit better, so you'll see a bit more from the highway. There's a whole story and a narrative that we've developed for the attraction, which we think is quite fun and makes sense and really kind of leans into Ocean Parade a bit more. So that'll be good. And then the ride itself is oriented just a little bit different on the site, so it kind of swings more north-south, if you will. So as you're walking
Okay.
up Main Street, you'll see it coming at you. And the ride, it's 50% higher than the current one. It goes through the station over 100 k's an hour, so it's you'll feel it as it goes through. Having stood there and watched the same ride in other parks, it's just one of those things that people want to just watch and see. So I think it'll be really, really compelling. And yeah, I think again, it'll really change the skyline. It's weird coming in through the team member entry now at Dreamworld and not seeing the claw there.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for it to start going vertical. It'll probably be another couple of months and you'll start seeing pieces go up. And, dissimilar to a coaster in some ways, this thing will go up really quick, so it's not huge amounts of steel. It's big bits of steel, but it's not huge amounts of it. So it'll actually go up like lightning. And then, people will be asking us when we're going to open, but there's a lot more to be done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all going very well so far.
You did just mention Terror of Terror. Can I ask you what's happening with that building?
Well, I can't knock it down because it's too good to kind of take it out. And I've got 4 or 5 different cool ideas there.
And they
And I'm
are.
just trying to the right one right. Yeah. I saw a great hotel over in Europe last year that I thought was a ripper and it could do really well there, but I haven't quite got the team over the line on that one. But look, there's a lot of different ideas that we could do in that space, and so to go and knock it down and then put something back up in the same place would be a bit of a shame. So it's a really interesting part of the park, and so yeah, it is getting painted. That's part of the Rivertown continual upgrade work that we're doing. So you'll see that it'll get painted to kind of look less intrusive, if you will, from on the land as you walk through. But that's the kind of first phase. We've got heaps of different ideas in it. Just can't get to the right one just yet. Maybe
If you
if you've
need a
got an idea,
sounding
you can tell
board,
me all that. Yeah.
mate, I'm more than happy. I said, if you want to run those past me, we can brainstorm some together. Is part of that expenditure in the park not just a new attraction, but perhaps removing those attractions that I'm going to speculate here that are no longer operational? So things like the Wedgie, Triple Vortex, and a couple of the fully six slides. Is that part of this sort of movement forward for
Yeah.
Whitewater World and this new attraction?
Yeah, not all of those will go, but some will
Okay.
for sure. Yeah, and we want to get all of that cleaned up. I think you've seen from us, we're not fans of keeping things that are standing but not operating, standing and not operating for very long. But at the same time, we want to make sure we do the due diligence and make certain that we want to remove something for sure before we go ahead and go and do it. It's pretty hard to undo once we start. So you will see all of those things resolved as part of this next program at Whitewater World. And again, we kind of feel really strongly about that. So, I don't think there's anything at Dreamworld that's been sitting there. We did a lot of that in terms of taking our medicine, if you will, and cleaning up some of those older attractions, and that's been done. It wasn't easy, but we got it done, and that'll be the same at Whitewater World as well. We'll remove the things that don't make sense in our minds. Some of them do, and so some of the things you mentioned there, we'll probably try to retain. But we want to, that's a whole of business decision. It's not something that I just decide on my own. I have the entire team gets pretty involved, or very involved in that. Safety is probably the first and foremost priority when we think about those decisions. Um, Not long after that is maintenance in terms of complexity to maintain things and, making sure that we feel comfortable that we can look after these things for the long term.